All right, everyone, welcome back once again to this Beefcast presentation in association with IVDYogiTime.com. Welcome back. This is round 4 here in the losers bracket. This is an elimination match between these two Zerg players on Metropolis. Joining me is Jamil, aka Zurtoss. You ready for the CVZ?
I am. In the bottom, we have a blue Zerg named Minnymac.
Yeah, Minnymac going up against his opponent, the pink Zerg, the color of Stefano, the color of confidence. He is Rezno. So, we got this ZVZ here in cross positions on Metropolis. Cross positions Metropolis is a very, very long distance. If we follow this all the way up here, it's probably one of the longest distances in the game, base to base. So the possibilities for early aggression a little bit minimized by the spawning positions here. But what do you think these players are going to be looking like for a game plan on this map?
Well, it looks like nobody is early pooling. Both of them are at 14 supply, have not seen a spawning pool go down yet. And right there we have a extractor going down for Rezno. No extractor or pool yet from our blue Zerg, however. He has gotten a 15th drone queued up. Maybe he's going straight 15 hatch.
Yeah, I think 15 hatch is going to be the choice at 300 minerals right here. That drone is going to be moving down right there. But like you said, we did have that extractor on 14 joining up with that pool on 14. This is a 14-14 build. Potential for some very high octane aggression coming out here. Early speed, could be early Baneling Nest. The possibility to put on some really high aggression very early and still retain an economic advantage if he's able to do just a little bit of damage with that build.
Right, and we're not going to be easily taking care of that with a 15 hatch build. Minnymac is definitely going to be feeling that pressure. If he can get his micro right, he just might be able to hold off that early aggression.
Yeah, Minnymac with that 15 hatch is going to be following it up with an extractor on 18 supply there. Going to want to be able to get his Zergling speed out as well. But on the other side of the map, 140 gas right now. Baneling Nest is going to be going down in addition to speed, probably pretty quick as soon as he's got 100 minerals, I would assume. With that Baneling Nest out, that Baneling Nest will complete about 40 seconds before speed. So there's going to be this little weird window where he's got slow link banelings, or he's going to delay his attack by about 40 seconds for those to equalize. Normally you want to start your speed about 20 to 30 seconds ahead of your banelingness to get that timing just right. But with that really delayed speed, he's going to minimize his window of opportunity here against his opponent, where he's going to have speed and his opponent won't, to only about 45 seconds. So this is going to be a very delicate timing. And with no expansion, well, the expansion just goes down right there, but with the expansion delayed by about a full 200 seconds, there's actually a lot of pressure here on Rezno to really make sure that he does some serious damage. Killing off a couple of queens isn't going to cut it. He needs to kill off a couple of queens, 10 Zerglings, 5 drones, maybe even kill the hatchery to really be able to capitalize on the early gas that he took. So we'll see if he's actually able to do that or not.
And Minnymac is just now getting an Overlord into his opponent's base. He has not yet spotted the Baneling Nest, and he pulls his Overlord to the other direction to try and avoid the Queen sniping it. I don't believe he's going to be able to save the Overlord, though. He should have sacrificed it. He should have been able to see that the Baneling Nest went down. He needed to know if that early aggression was there.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. He should have sacked that. The Overlord was going to die one way or the other at that point. And right now, Zerglings, Speedlings are going to be making their way onto the map. A total of 8 right now. One Slowling going to make its way across the map for the time being. Something very important to note right here is that there is no speed on the way currently for Minnymac. He's completely forgotten that upgrade.
Yeah, that is not going to go well for him. I would like to see Minnymac put down some spines. At least then he may have a fighting chance. But right now, if Rezno pushes and has enough Lings and Banelings, it does not look good for Minnymac.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Lings and Banelings are just kind of staying static on his own side of the map right now. 4 Lings are making their way across the map now, But 4 lings with 8 zerglings might not be enough to break this. There's no spines down. There's no roach warren down producing roaches for the time being. But there are defensive banelings coming out from Minnymac right now. Unless he has exceptional micro, those banelings are going to make it very hard to do damage with this small number of zerglings and banelings. And so I think that Minnymac is actually going to be able to hold this. And with the superior number of drones that are out on the field right now, 30 to 26, and he's had those drones out a lot longer, he's actually going to be taking a commanding lead in terms of economy. And with the 700 minerals that he's got banked up right now, as soon as that roach warren does in fact finish, there could be a high possibility of a bit. Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, those.
Minnymac did not have good control there. He allowed 2 of those banelings to do way too much damage.
Yeah.
I think Rezno was very smart in putting them in one at a time, but that was just way more damage than he should have taken. Oh, and he loses so many drones right there.
He actually, I don't think he lost any drones right there. I could be wrong here. He lost 1 drone right there.
Oh.
Yeah, it takes 2 banelings to blow up each one of those drones, and so a lot of them in the deep red right there, but he didn't manage to connect with any of the banelings a second time. So a little bit unfortunate there. But both players demonstrating that they have the ability to counteract their opponent's banelings, willing to sacrifice 1 baneling for another as they're going to go ahead and just continue to tech on up. The queen was lost there for Minnymac. But right now, more Zerglings and Banelings going to be making their way across the map. A few Banelings going to be morphing up for Minnymac, and both players have a large amount of Zerglings. But with those Banelings going to be finishing up here relatively soon, I don't think this is a fight that Rezno does in fact want to take. And he manages to clean up a couple of Banelings right there. Three Zerglings for 2 Banelings. It's a trade that he should be willing to take. But back at home, that Spire is about 75% of the way done. And this is going to be the important thing here. Is there an ability from Minnymac to defend any kind of Spire aggression? Right now, the only AA that he has are his 2 queens. There's no Evo chamber down. There's no layer going down. And if there's a large production of Mutalisks at some point here, this could be very deadly. The problem is that he doesn't have the gas to support this. Right now, he's only working with 2 drones in one of his extractors. The other one has 3, and 2 extractors are barren. He simply does not have the gas to produce Mutalisks at this point.
And in fact, the gas that he did have, he decided to spend on Banelings instead, so that's going to push the Mutalisks further back.
Yeah, and even dropping double Evo right now, this could be just to try to make a little bit of SimCity, which I do like his SimCity right now. 3 Spine Crawlers and 2 Evo is going to do a pretty nice job of defending right there. But with those double Evos, they're not really doing much other than blocking right now, unless he chooses to spend his gas on those. But if he spends the gas on those, then what was the point of the Spire? So a little bit of kind of having his hand in the candy jar, a little bit too much at once, not really choosing just one. Back at home for Minnymac, though, going to go ahead and start that Roach production. Got a good amount of Zerglings and Banelings, and going to go ahead and continue to expand, working on his 3rd base right now, and even going to start his own lair. Currently, going to want to get that Roach speed up, and even starting +1 ranged attacks with his Evolution Chamber.
And Rezno right now is not aware of that 3rd. If you look at his vision, he has no idea it's been planted down. Granted, it's not saturated or anything at the moment, but that could definitely become a factor that can turn later in the game when that roach count becomes extremely important.
Yeah, Baneling's actually going to make their way in here right now, and they have the opportunity to connect really hard on some of these Zerglings, but the Roach is actually doing a pretty nice job of body blocking. 1 Baneling there does make a decent connection onto some of those Zerglings, but look at all of these Roaches. Right now, 2,400 minerals in the bank for our pink Zerg, but he simply doesn't have the larva, and he doesn't have the Overlords to capitalize on that right now. He could make about 70 Roaches, something stupidly high like that, with the amount of stuff that he has right now, but he simply can't because he doesn't have the supply of the larva. Maybe not 70. Maybe that's a little too many. Maybe 40 roaches. That sounds a little more reasonable.
Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the gas to do it either way.
Yeah, and he sunk the gas that he did have into 5 mutas, so a little bit of a not really making the right stuff at the right time moment there. Those 5 mutas are going to be very good at dealing with the roaches over time, but how much damage are those roaches going to do before the mutas can finally clean them up? Mutas do kill those roaches so slow, but those 3 spine crawlers that we pointed out in conjunction with the evolution chamber are actually going to do a brilliant job at holding that off. At home, Minnymac does go ahead and throw down a Hydra Den to go ahead and try to counteract these mutas.
And it looks like Minnymac has roaches coming all across the map, as well as overlords. He's got very good vision of the map. He knows what's going on, but at the same time, those roaches going cross map on the rally points is probably not the best thing right now.
Yeah, those roaches, like you said, they're going to get cleaned up by the very quick units, the Zerglings and the Mutalisks, so losing a lot of units that he didn't need to lose right there. And Glio Reconstitution, roach speed is actually something that's not been upgraded at this point. There are now 9 Mutalisks on the field, but with Hydra production and even a few spores going out right now, those Mutalisks aren't really going to be able to do any damage inside of the base, and they're probably not even going to be able to fight the army right now. However, they will be able to clean up a ton of overlords. There are currently about 10 overlords on the map right now that could be cleaned up. And Zerglings even to be making their way over here into the base. They're going to make their way into the mineral line, take out a queen, take out a few Hydralisks, take out some drones. And these Zerglings are actually doing a ton of damage right now.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate Minnymac put up spores, but he did not put down spines. And that just has given these Zerglings free reign. Yeah,
I'm just blown away by the amount of damage that these Zerglings are doing. And the Mutalisks finally do come in. 9 Mutalisks, like I had said, they're just going to kind of come in and, wow, GG comes out from Minnymac right there. And this was a situation of just running out of economy. He let too much stuff get him down, wasted a lot of roaches trying to attack into something that didn't really happen. And Rezno makes what I would call a comeback there. I did not see him looking ahead for most of this game, but a very nice job.
I definitely agree. I think Minnymac, there definitely was a point where I felt he had that game, and I believe he kind of threw it away by inopportune attacks and kind of overreacting to the mutas as well. He could have taken out that natural if he continued pushing with his roaches and kind of ignored the few mutas that were out at the time.
Yeah, I think that's true. But we move on. Rezno moves on. He's going to be going on to the next round of the losers bracket. See if he can continue his run here in this IVDYogiTime.com tournament, number 27, Gold and Silver League tournament. Make sure to check them out at IVDYogiTime.com. The links will be in the description of this video. They're in chat. They're everywhere. Make sure to go over there. Let them know how much you appreciate these tournaments going on. Tournaments for all skill levels, tournaments with prizes. Click on one link per tournament. Help them get some ad revenue to continue to put out prizes and great content for the community. I've been your casting host, Beef. Joining me, Jamil, aka Zurtoss. We will see you in the next game.